right, joining us today on Pirate Radio Live, it's like the shirt says, local politics bud, Holton Ahlers, former Pirate QB and QB of the Arlington Renegades, joining us. Holt, how you doing, man?
Doing good, Cliff. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. As I told Coach Mack yesterday, and I know you're getting ready for a football season in the UFL, I'm over the kind of college football, NFL doldrums, and all in on college basketball right now. An East Carolina victory on Sunday helped that. Good performance by the Pirates, but watching college hoops every night now. I know you're an NBA Knicks guy, but starting to get into basketball mode here in late February.
Yeah, same Cliff. And I've actually watched more basketball lately. I said, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, we went to our first in-person ECU basketball game, and I was sold on them. And I think we have a chance to go and make some noise in the conference tournament this year. I don't think there's that many dominant teams in the tournament this year. I think we got two guys, like I said last week, that could score 30 that they're at least fun to watch and can take over games. So teams like that are dangerous. I'm excited to watch them. I'll be pulling for them when I'm in Texas. So I'm really pumped for them. And then the rest of it, Duke. In my opinion, Duke looks like the front runner. I like Texas A&M a lot too in the tournament. It's kind of weird. Like when Duke had Zion, they fell in the tournament. So with Cooper Flag, does that happen again? Maybe, maybe not. But other than that, I like Texas A&M a lot to make a run in the tournament. And I'm also excited once the bracket comes out to learn more about these teams. That's when me and Caden and some of those guys will really do our research and really dive down into the numbers before we start releasing bets out there.
And believe it or not, conference tournaments begin Sunday. There's the one starts on the 2nd of March, and then a few more start on the 4th. So we'll start to see some of those, I guess, quote unquote, smaller schools, some teams to keep an eye on for upsets in the tournament, and just exciting stuff. I've got, despite the gray and white on my chin, I do still have a nice dark head of hair here. I'm trying to rally the troops. I got Rajay on board, everybody here at Pirate Radio. If the Pirates do make the tournament, we're going to go blonde in honor of CJ Walker. Yeah, well, with all the hair you have on your head, are you willing to do the same?
So I will. I don't have much hair left, so I don't know if anyone will be able to even notice. Because technically my hair is blonde now, so I don't know if you noticed that, but
we want bright white bleach blonde.
Yeah. You want white hair, yeah. You know what? I'm for it, Cliff. I'm for it. So if I get some TV time during the UFL, I'm like, what the hell is this bald guy doing with a little bit of white hair? But I'm for it. Go Pirates.
Hell yeah, man. Anything to get them in the tournament, I'm pretty much down for at this point.
Absolutely.
They got Charlotte coming up this weekend, Tulane after that, and then they'll wrap up the regular season at FAU, I believe, Bone. Yep, and then it's off to the conference tournament. Speaking of basketball, I feel like I keep up with the NBA just by clicking on Twitter or whatever now, and it was all about Luka and the Lakers taking on the Mavs last night. And we've talked about it a little bit, Holton, but are the Lakers a factor, or is this just a story because they're the Lakers and they have LeBron? Do you think they'll make some noise with Luka now in the West?
I think they will. They have two of the best players in the game right now, even though LeBron's 40. And they're probably two clutchest players, maybe without Kyrie would be the third. But, yeah, I think they're going to make some noise. The West is hard. They got to match up with the right teams. They can't play the Nuggets. If they play them round one, it's going to be tough because they don't really have a center. But if they match up with the right teams, they definitely will make some noise in it. And I don't know if this would ever happen, but if the Lakers somehow made the finals, they match up the best, I think, out of the West with the Celtics. I think that would be a really good matchup because of the way the Celtics play. The Lakers kind of play in a similar fashion. So that's just something to watch on. Hopefully the Celtics aren't in the championship as the Knicks are, but they obviously look the favorite right now.
Yeah, and if you're a fan of a team in the East, you kind of grade where you are by the Celtics. And did I see a stat yesterday, Holt, that said the Celtics have outscored the Knicks by an average of 21 points per game in the 3 meetings?
You have. But I do got good news, Cliff. Our starting center's coming back tonight. He hasn't played all year, so feel way better about it. We're third in the East with 4 of our starters playing, so I'm excited to see Mitch Robinson play.
I enjoy the optimism of Holton Ahlers. Holton, this time of year, and again, we talk to Rajay every week. He's going through this right now. It's combine season, and Savone Revel got the invite to the combine. Unfortunately, Rajay did not, but he said the work continues for him. You kind of went through this process as every player does at the end of their college career. Kind of, I don't know, is it like nervous time, excitement time as you try to figure out the next stage in your football life? What do you remember about kind of this portion of your off season heading into your pro career?
Yeah, I moved to Mobile, Alabama for my quarterback training, and just training for the draft, and I loved it. Like, I mean, it's the first time you don't have school like in your life. You just get to focus on football. There's a lot of exciting things. I'm sure Rajay's still hearing from NFL teams through his agent. So, like, there's still a lot of exciting news coming. Now, waiting for the combine. Like, I remember mine was, like, up until the day, like, 2 days before the combine, there was still a chance that I had a chance to sell, like, one more quarterback invite. But that's just, like, the game within the game. You just got to continue to grind with yourself. And then the exciting part is, I mean, like, Rajay and some of these guys, like, they don't know where they're going to go, and they don't know where they're going to be living here soon. And Rajay has a little girl, and obviously his family's tight with him, his pops, and then he has brothers too. So like stuff like that is like sad, but also really really happy because you're like I've grinded my whole life to go play in the NFL. So yeah, there's tons of emotions. Then there's the stress of like, especially guys who are like on the edge of like drafted, not drafted, like I was. Like probably Rajay's probably like 6th or 7th or undrafted. Like, of like, am I good enough to get drafted? If I don't get drafted, am I still good? Even though like I went undrafted, and once I got there, I was like, wow, I'm glad I went undrafted because the situation was way better. I got to pick where I was going. Whereas when you're drafted, you really don't. So it's just a ton of mental games, but you just got to learn to enjoy it. That's the mental games is just pro football, to be honest with you. Once you start playing pro ball, like it's just a different animal, and you just got to learn how to master the unexpected, I guess, because if not, it's going to drive you crazy.
You had a very unique kind of beginning of your pro career, end of your college career, because you were the MVP of 2 postseason bowl games, right? Or 3,
yeah, so I was
guess.
Yeah, 3 technically.
Yeah. And for most guys, like the hay's in the barn as far as college tape and everything, and it's all about what you can do at pro day and things like that. But you were able to show your talents on the field a couple more times. A lot of guys, don't get that chance.
Yeah, no, it was super cool. I was very thankful for that. And like even that period for me, like I was super banged up. My shoulder's still torn. I mean, it's out there now that I tore my labrum, the state game, first game of the year, my senior year. And like I was supposed to have surgery after that, then got invited to the Hula Bowl, pushed off the surgery, was going to do it after the Hula Bowl. Won MVP of the Hula Bowl, was like, all right, that's a great way, have surgery now, and then go. And then got invited to the NFLPA Bowl the day before my surgery. So I decided to go there, won MVP there. And then, my family, my agent, and myself were kind of like, hey, let's keep the momentum. There's no reason to. Let's go train and, have a really, really good pro day. So, yeah, it's just a ton of decisions that literally affect your life. But, like, at the same time, you can't think of it more than just, like, one decision at a time.
Holton Ahlers joining us. Justin Hardy now part of the crew. We talk to him every Monday. And I got a good ask Donnie Kirkpatrick. Hey, Donnie, you got a question or a story I can ask Justin Hardy? He said, yeah, ask him about the time we had a Thursday night game, ESPN, and hours before that game, he lost his credit card or it got stolen. So I brought that up with Justin. He said he still had no clue where that card is to this day. And I guess grand scheme of things, it's minor, but really it's not, especially at that age. He said everything he had was on that card. Basically, it was a distraction, and but he had a great game as always because he's a great player. But Holton, was there any kind of like, because we don't think about that when we watch you guys play, like, how did Holton's day go today? Did he and his girlfriend get along? Did he fail a test?
Yeah.
Is he having a family thing? Like, you just never know. So like, I'm sure you were able to kind of put those distractions away, but like, did anything kind of off the field that you can remember like affect you kind of going into a game?
I was pretty good at like, once I stepped like into even the locker room and stuff, it was kind of like my exit of everything. I went through a lot like in high school and then like my freshman year to where like I kind of used football as like a way to get away from just like life almost. So I feel like I was really good at it. I definitely went through a lot of things off the field, but I don't think I ever let it like carry on. I will say that one story that comes to mind, and honestly, he played really, really well, but it kind of sounds like the Justin Hardy story. There was a night game. It was either ODU or UCF. I can't exactly remember when, our senior year. And Zay Winstead wears contacts, and for some reason he had two of the same eye contacts in. So he couldn't see, so he had to take them both out. So then we're warming up pregame, and like you warm up the whole time, and then you have like 3 plays. You have like a run, and then 1 pass, and you go to the locker room, and the coach talks to you, and you run out and play the game. Well, we got to like right before we huddle, we get in the huddle, and Zay Winstead looks at me and says, "Hey, Holt, like my contacts are all messed up. I can't see far away. So like I'm only gonna be able to see when the ball gets close to me." And he was like, "And like you're gonna have to tell me the signals. Like we're gonna have to figure out a way because I can't see the signals to the sideline." So that entire game, the whole time I'm like, "Oh gosh, what the heck?" My number one receiver can't see when the ball's far away, and all I threw him was fade balls half the time. So I was like, "Oh gosh." So then that we had one play before we ran in the locker room. I threw him a go ball, and I think he caught it, but he was like a little like hesitant on it. I'm like, "Oh gosh." So that we got in the locker room, and I threw to him a little bit, and he seemed all right. And that whole entire game, though, we had a plan. It's like I would get the signal, and then if you go watch the tape, I would run over to him. He would meet me halfway, but he's an outside receiver. So I would go where the slot receiver was, tell him to play, and then run back to quarterback every time. And that's just how he played that game. And I think he had over 100 yards. So maybe he had a really good year that year. But yeah, that kind of sounds like one of those stories.
Getting it done, no matter the circumstances. That's good stuff. Holton Ahlers joining us today. So Holt, you are you still around here, or are you in Texas yet?
I leave tomorrow. I know I've said that 5 times. They keep pushing it back because there's like bargaining going on right now between the quarterback and the UFLPA and the UFL. So I officially leave tomorrow. Camp officially starts 27th. We had a little quarterback thing beforehand, but I officially leave for good, at least until June.
Awesome.
Tomorrow.
Well, good luck, man. We'll keep in touch and talk throughout your journey, but looking forward to seeing you in the UFL. Appreciate you joining us today, man. And folks can check out the Holton Ahlers show. I think latest episode, new defensive coordinator Josh Aldridge. What'd you think of that chat?
Yeah, he was awesome. He was really, really interesting. We talked about his upbringing, his coaching tree, who's kind of impacted him. Some players we look for now. I mean, we lost pretty much all of our linebackers who had playing experience last year. So it was a really, really good interview. And then, Caden's little social media show is starting soon, and we'll release ours in the UFL season. We're releasing 2 shows a week, or 2 shows a month, excuse me. So follow Holt Ahlers show, and we'll tweet all updates on that.
Good stuff. A lot of new folks on staff. We'll talk to one of those guys Friday on Pirate Radio Live. Coach Bivens, we know him now.
Yes, sir.
Bruce Bivens will join us on the show. Looking forward to catching up with Bruce. All right, Holt. Thanks, bud.
Yes, sir. See you.